to be able to share with us all of his thoughts on all these topics. If we have time, we'll play it in the D block. It is a mesmerizing film just as a film, because it's essentially it's this amazing action movie shot all over the place. Here's what I don't understand. You guys have made this film, I think you told me that you started in 2018, and it took like a year or so to make because you were shooting all over the world. But this thing has basically essentially been finished since 20 or 21. Why are we in May of 23, you're in the war room, and we're going to sell tickets, and we're going to sell 2 million? That to make sure that it's in theaters over 4th of July of 2023. What is this? Why is this film so? What is it about this movie that makes people in the film industry and other places not want to see it in theaters?
I'll give you one plain example. We had 1,500 patriots, people that were interested in seeing the film in Las Vegas. During one part of the film, everybody in the audience started whispering. And of course, you're watching the viewers to see if they're even interested in the movie, but they were very, very locked in. And at one point, they all started whispering, and I thought I've never seen that before. So after the movie, I asked them a couple of questions, and then I had to ask them, why were you whispering at this one particular part in the movie? And I didn't pick up on it. And they all started screaming out Epstein Island. Epstein Island isn't the only island out there where they have hurt children.
Is this, are you saying this the type of thing in the film that is going to be revealed and people are going to see? I mean, is that why this is so controversial? Is it the powers that be are trying to stop this? Or is it the quality of the movie?
Well, it's credible, the movie. When you see it, it's like in your heart when you see you've been told something for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden it hits you. But I would tell you that the movie has a great power, has God's hand in it. And I never really thought of it that way. There was a point where I'm sitting there pointing at an island where Tim Ballard had to go and do this operation. And the audience members immediately reacted to that. And I think that what's interesting about it is just let the public see it, And the last time that I've experienced this was on The Passion of the Christ, where we almost never got that movie out. We're in the same situation. So Tim Ballard was at Fox Studios talking to them, and they didn't want to hire me. And he said, no, I want this guy. And he loved The Passion of the Christ. He loved The Count of Monte Cristo. And so those were 2 films that I did, and he would not steer away from it. So they finally went to me, and then Disney took over the studio. And when that happened, they did not want this film. And so then you see the nefarious activities that have been going on at Disney, and I understand a lot more now. But
hang on. So people don't just think, oh, this is, Jim Caviezel is a great actor, but he's off on these wild tangents on conspiracy theory, and of course he's on Bannon's show, so Bannon's giving plenty of runway to go. But in the film itself, let's just talk about the movie. In Ballard's life, and what Ballard found out, and what Ballard's testimony is as his lived experience, what does Tim Ballard show us to show that it's not a conspiracy, that there's something concrete here? It's just not some theory. What is it about what Ballard did that's so controversial, and what he found that's so controversial that they don't want people to see the movie?
I think the analogy, if it's an analogy or if it's so close, it parrots a lot what's going on in a lot of the agencies and a lot of the stuff where you try to do an operation and they shut it down. Why would you shut something down? Why would you want to stop? Let's go to the media. When a story comes out on trafficking of children, why is in the next day, it's not an interesting story. This Ms. Rojas got up and is talking about the Judiciary Committee in front of the sworn testimony in front of the Judiciary Committee that 85,000 children go missing. Why is that not an interesting enough story? So now go watch this movie, and the same kind of stuff happens, but that's not interesting. It's not happening.
But hold it. But hang on. But hang for a second. Get me back to the 85,000. When Ms. Rojas testifies, Ms. Rojas says there's. Ms. Rojas says, well, hang on. Ms. Rojas says 85,000 are missing. What does that mean to you? Does it mean that administratively they're not found, or you think there's something else going on here?
Oh, definitely something else going on. 100%. But this has been going on. When Sound of Freedom, before it was coming out, I just started noticing that anytime a story came out on trafficking, anything, it was gone the next day. It would get reported, but then it was gone. That's interesting. Then after so many thousands of these coincidences happen, how many coincidences need to occur before you start to go, and mathematically, that's impossible. If you go down to Vegas and you win a hand of blackjack, you might get hot. You might win 10 hands in a row. But after you won 1,000 hands in a row, do you think something's going on?
Do you think, let me ask it this way, do you think that the trafficking of children is an epidemic or pandemic in the world, and specifically the United States? And if so, what are the causes of it, sir?
Well, obviously, if you want to go into I'm fighting for my life here now. See, there you can always talk about the wicked. I really like to talk about the middle third that won't do anything. I think they, at the end of this whole journey, will be the ones that did nothing. That group, I think, is the biggest evil in this whole thing. They refuse to look at it because they don't want to believe it. If I was, for example, I recently went to Poland and I visited Auschwitz, and I'm sure there were some soldiers that saw it, and they did, and I'm sure that when they went back, they were called crazy, conspiracy theorists and whatnot, but that turned out to be true. So now we look at our children and nothing's being done. But look what just happened on Monday. You know, the Durham report came that we were told that Trump is this evil man, and turns out he's not, and that Biden is good.
Hang on one second. I want to make sure everybody's got it, because the tickets are selling like mad here. It's go to angel.com/war room. To get the discount, it's Angel10 for a 10% discount. Angel.com/war room. Put in the discount code Angel10 and the War Room Posse gets 10%. Jim, I've just got a couple minutes in this block, and obviously we're going to hold you through, but here's a question. Yeah. When you say the middle third, that's basically your everyday Americans just getting on with their lives. And they they got a debt ceiling, their economy's collapsing, they got invasion of the southern border, they got war in Ukraine, they got AIs about to destroy humanity. They got enough on their plate. Why is this pandemic, why is this of such a level that you're saying that if they don't respond, they're equivalent to the Germans who looked the other way when the Jews were being slaughtered in the death camps. Sir, we got a minute, and I'll hold you through. Just tee it up. Well, why is the middle third, who just are not paying attention or not engaged, why are you equating them to the quote-unquote good Germans who look the other way?
Boy, if that was going on at this moment, if we had a film like this, it would have really hurt the Nazis, I'll tell you. But you'll have a movie like this soon. And then there'll be a big question asked of you. What did you do? And many will have nowhere to hide. Look, I'm not the good
Jim. Hang on. I'm gonna go to break, and I want to hold all this because it's gonna be great. It's angel.com/war room. Put in Angel 10 for your Tim